trillion for 2025, building on the impressive performance of VAT collections in 2024. The forecasted VAT revenue for 2024, which was initially pegged at 1.527 trillion, was surpassed by 65.8%, primarily driven by collections from the federal government and 21 states. The figure was derived from financial reports released by the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee, FAC, between October 2023 and March 2024, underscoring the robust growth in VAT receipts. Swateku reports.
This remarkable performance highlights the potential for VAT as a key source of revenue for the government. Based on the 2024 collection figures, the FG has projected a VAT target of 2.5 trillion naira for 2025, with the federal government alone aiming for a target of 972 billion naira. This figure nearly doubles the 512.8 billion naira share allocated to the federal government in 2024. At the same time, state governments are also ramping up efforts to boost their collections, with their own projections indicating a significant increase in their contributions to national VAT receipts. Value-added tax (VAT) is a consumption-based tax levied on goods and services, with the final consumer bearing the tax burden. As a multi-stage tax, VAT is paid at each stage of production or distribution, ultimately passed on to the consumer at the point of sale. FIRS Chairman Zak Adedeji has emphasized the agency's ongoing efforts to improve tax collection, particularly through expanding the scope of VAT to include non-resident suppliers such as global giants like Google and Amazon. This move is part of FIR's strategy to modernize and broaden the tax base, ensuring that all taxable transactions are captured and taxed appropriately, even in the digital economy. The aggressive target for 2025 reflects the government's determination to tap into VAT as a major revenue stream while reinforcing efforts to tackle tax evasion and enhancing compliance across both corporate and individual taxpayers.
In a bid to enhance public awareness of the tax reform bill, the Federal Inland Revenue Service has collaborated with prominent content creators, Adams Kehinde, popularly known as Lege Miami, and comedian Seyi Aletile, aka Seyi Law. The collaboration aims to develop innovative strategies to simplify taxation concepts and foster a deeper understanding of the reforms within communities. Ejura Etu Okpanachi reports.
During a productive meeting discussion centered on leveraging the influence of social media campaigns, hosting interactive sessions, and creating engaging content to spark meaningful dialogue about taxation, both parties explored the potential of using relatable and creative communication to demystify the tax process, highlight its benefit, and address misconceptions. FIRS emphasized that this collaboration is part of its broader effort to ensure inclusivity in sensitization campaigns by reaching diverse demographics through relatable and entertaining mediums, by engaging influencers with strong grassroots and digital appeal. The agency hopes to bridge the information gap and promote voluntary tax compliance. This partnership represents a fast-forward thinking approach to public engagement, leveraging the creativity and reach of content creators to amplify the importance of taxation and its role in national development.
In an effort to inspire young minds and shape the future of Nigeria, a groundbreaking initiative called Tax for Tomorrow, inspiring young nation builders, has brought tax education to life for secondary school students in selected schools across Abuja. This impactful program is designed to instill sense of civic responsibility in students and inspire them to contribute to nation building. Through dynamic and engaging awareness sessions, taxation has been simplified, showcasing its essential role in funding education, healthcare, infrastructure, and other vital public services. Swateku reports.
Equipped with colorful educational materials, such as Why We Pay Tax booklets, the students participated enthusiastically, engaging in thought-provoking discussions and asking insightful questions. Their energy and curiosity were remarkable, sparking meaningful conversations about accountability and the collective power of contributing to Nigeria's growth. This initiative isn't just about education. It's about creating a movement. By empowering these young minds as ambassadors of good governance and national development, the program is sowing the seeds of a culture of tax compliance, with students influencing their families and communities. As this program expands, it promises to leave a lasting impact on Nigerians' development journey, one student at a time, shaping a sustainable and prosperous future for all.
And that wraps up our news package. And now to our Did You Know segment.
Did you know some profits are exempted from CIT, company income tax, provided they have not derived from trade or business activities carried out by the company, for example, the cooperative society? In the case of a newly incorporated company, due date for filing company income tax returns is either within 18 months from the date of incorporation or 6 months from the end of the company's first accounting period, whichever is earlier.
Over to Mariam for our Vox Pop segment.
Hello and welcome. My name is Mariam Julie Edura. We're on the streets today to find out what people know about the company income tax. Come along with me. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Hi.
I'd like to ask you what you know about company income tax.
Company income tax. I think as the name applies, is the tax that companies pay for doing business in Nigeria. I think that should be simple enough.
Do you know what the rates are for paying company income tax?
No, but I know that there is 7.5% VAT, there's 5% withholding tax, but the rate for company income tax, I don't really think I have knowledge of what the percentage is.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon. Please, what do you know is company income tax?
Company income tax is a tax payable to the government and by the workers.
So what is company income tax?
Thank you. Like me, I'm a company chairman. I pay my company tax to Federal Inland Revenue Services. So, and it is a tax we pay deductible from our profit that we make on yearly basis. That's what I know about my company tax code.
Okay, do you know the rates? Are there rates? Do you know the rates as per the threshold of your company?
Yes, I have my code, though I didn't have it offhand now. But I have, because I have a letter to that effect from tax office, which we use in paying our tax.
What is company income tax?
Well, company income tax has to do with the things they do, the business they do. There must be an income. And based on those income, the federal government has a little percentage for the development of the country. Has to do with, I think it's about 5 or 7%, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, do you know the rates of the CIT? The company income tax rates, do you know it?
Right now, I think I do know that, but I said I go back to the books.
We want to find out from you what you know about company income tax.
Company income tax is where your company collects your tax and give back the rest to you. And if you are receiving salary from your company or from whatever establishment, government establishment, before they give you your salary, your money, the tax will be deducted from it. Before the rest will be paid to you.
What are the rates of of company income tax?
Well, I don't know because I'm a public servant.
Company income tax, the way from the literal meaning company, is a tax that is being deducted from your business activities. The business you incur, the business you made, the turnover and what have you. Then those are company income tax. It's a tax that you paid to your own company, the company you register with Corporate Affairs Commission. And then at the end of every transaction, or yearly or whatever, deductions are made, and that it is against the rules of the game that you don't pay company income tax or anything.
What do you know about company income tax?
Yeah, the company income tax is about the companies paying their tax to inland revenue. And most of the time, some companies don't really comply. Yes, but it's good that companies should pay their tax. Yes.
Do you know the rates of the company income tax?
Rate of
Rates of company income tax?
So it depends on the company. It shouldn't be the same. The rate varies. So the big companies, their rates are higher, while the small companies, the rates are lower. So the most important thing there now is whatever the rates, make sure you comply, you pay. So that's where governments do some infrastructure and development.
So what is company income tax?
Company income tax is what companies pay based on their income. Then the companies are categorized by their gross income. The small companies, they don't pay tax. Companies who has an income of less than 25 million per annum, they don't pay tax. They have zero tax income payment. Then from 25 million to 50 million, you pay 20% company income tax. Then from 50 million to 100 million and above, you have 30% company income tax.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mariam, for the Vox Pop. Let's now join Ashu for our Knowledge Zone.
Welcome to Knowledge Zone. My name is Ashu Abe. And as usual, today I will be speaking to the responses we got from the Vox Pop segment on company income tax. What is company income tax? Company income tax is tax imposed on profit of a company from all sources. And please note, company income tax is payable only to the federal government. State governments collect income taxes of individuals and uncorporated entities, while local governments are only allowed to collect levies and rates, but not income tax. What are the due dates for filing returns? For newly incorporated companies, within 18 months from the date of incorporation or not later than 6 months after the end of its accounting period, whichever is earliest. For existing companies, within 6 months from the end of the accounting year. A self-assessment filer may, by application, commence payment of installment before due date, but such installments cannot extend beyond 2 months after the due date. Companies in operation for more than 4 years are liable to minimum tax except those specifically exempted by the tax law. What are the company income tax rates? The CIT rate is 0% for companies with gross turnover of 25 million or less. CIT rate is 20% for companies with gross turnover greater than 25 million and less than 100 million, while companies operating with over 100 million have 30% CIT rates.
And now to our professional insights.
So we are looking at fiscal policy and economic growth, sir. So there's a debate about the balance between taxation and economic growth. So how do you and your committee members, of course, ensure that policies support businesses, especially small, medium businesses?
Yeah, that's a great question. We think that they are complementary. So the fiscal system itself, we came up with this fiscal economic equation. We also call it the socio-economic equation, that taxes are the consequences of economic activities. So without economic activities, there will be no taxes. So when you start a conversation with taxes, you're getting it wrong. Start the conversation with the economic activities, right? And then taxes would come. Now, taxes, when they are collected in and of themselves, are a means to an end, not an end in themselves. The reason we collect taxes is so we can improve the livelihood, the well-being of the people. Therefore, in that equation, any policy you have, whether it's fiscal policy or tax policy or monetary policy or trade policy, you must not distort economic activities, because it's the economic activities that will generate the taxes,
Yes.
right? Any policy that is distorting economic activities is a bad policy. When the taxes are being collected, all the policies, fiscal policy, monetary policy, tax policy, trade policy, industrial policy, must not undermine the well-being of the people, because that is why we collect the taxes in the first place. And I'll give you some examples. So, for example, Mr. President was very clear to us that we should not tax seed. We should wait for the fruit and tax it. That is fundamental. That's very instructive, because what it means is Nigeria is going to be a country that is investing with you. So you want to start a business, you want to start an idea, you have an innovation, you want to do research. If you want to take a risk, we take the risk with you, because business is also risky. You know, you can lose all your money. We'll support you in that process. And then when you make more profit, when you earn returns, then you can now pay your taxes. We want to have headquarters locations in Nigeria. Let people come to Nigeria and set up the headquarters for their business in Africa, even across the world. We want to have shared services center in Africa. We want to have the creative center of the world in Nigeria. Let people come here and do movies and create stuff. We want to be the center for innovation. We want to be the center for energy transition. There's a lot that we can attract. And the more of those things we attract to our domain, the more the prosperity that will be available for our people, the more the economy will grow, the more respect we actually earn across the world, and the better a country and Nigeria will become.
So we want to talk about digitalization and tax administration. So what are you doing to digitalize taxation in Nigeria?
Yeah, so like I said when I started, so the world has moved on from the days of fiscal activities to the digital world that we live in today, whether it's artificial intelligence, whether it's stuff over the internet. So we recognize that we cannot transform the fiscal system without leveraging technology. So we have a lot of provisions in the tax bills to do with digital transformation. One of it is we have the fiscalization, where we're trying to, without sounding too complicated, you have electronic invoicing system, where people will use that for invoicing, and we have the intelligence. We also have harmonization of the tax system, where we're going to integrate different systems of government agencies. In fact, we're hoping to be able to integrate the federal, state, and local government together. We also have something we call data for tax. It's an intelligence system, like a tax intelligence system that connects all the economic activities within the Nigerian economy. For example, if I come to the FRS or I go to my state internal revenue service and I say life is hard, I only earned 2 million naira last year, so therefore there's not a lot I can pay in taxes, the system will tell them that this guy just lied, because he spends 15 million naira from his payment card. He traveled abroad 2 times, he bought 2 new cars. Each of those cars were worth 10 million. Then I say, oh God, since you only earned 2 million, where did you find all this money you were spending? You might say, oh, maybe it was my savings. Okay, so from your savings account, we saw that the amount went up. It did not come down. Or you say it was a gift. I say, the person that gave you, where did they earn the income? Or were they printing naira? At the end of the day, you find that in many developed countries where the tax system works, it's not because those people are like angels and Nigerians are just bad people. No, it's because there are systems to call them to order when they do not do the right thing.
It's also developed over time.
Exactly. So these are some of the things we are building into our reforms. And I think beyond even helping government to raise more revenue, it will help create a level playing field. If you and I are doing the same business and you're the honest person and you pay your taxes, and I'm the guy who says, what's government doing for me? And I refuse to pay my taxes. If government allow me to get away with it, I'll have an advantage over you. So you're going to pay 30% tax, education tax, you pay withholding tax, you're paying everything. Me, I'm not paying. If I don't like your face, I'll price you out of that market. So you then create a society that is rewarding bad behavior and punishing good behavior. That's what we have now, and we have to change that. So to be able to do that, technology would also help us in a great deal.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Let's join Amina on what's on the net.
Hi everyone, this is What's on the Net. I am Amina Adiola Abbas. On X, AdripLord891 says, please, I want to apply for teen certificate. Which of the FIR's offices should I go to? My address is Ojodu Bega. AdripLord891, there is a new tax office at Ojodu Bega named MSTO Ojodu Bega. The next closest office to Ojodu Bega is MSTO Agidingbi. On Instagram, @rose.shehu says, this is highly commendable on the advocacy outreach initiative organized by the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Well, thank you, Rose. We appreciate your kind words.
And that wraps up our package for today. Don't forget to follow us on our social media handles. Join us same time next week for another interesting package. FIRS, simplifying tax, maximizing revenue.